As always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning and happy Wednesday, my futures family. It is November the 9th, 2022. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks, as always, for trusting me with your time. Our focus is always on seeking accurate context, always thinking about risk management, and staying patient in our trading, which yesterday turned out not to be the right thing to do. As we were looking forward to the elections, we had some pretty decent moves in some of these markets, so you never really know. And as usual, our acronym here is anything can happen. This morning, the 30-year mortgage rates came out higher, 7.14% after the last release of 7.06%. 9 o'clock, we're looking for wholesale inventories, not expected to be all that impactful. 9:30, the EIA Petroleum Status Report. They're looking for an increase of 1.36 million barrels, approximately what the API was expecting last night, but that came out an increase of 5.6 million barrels. So we have the crude market on the downside already this morning with some interesting nuances that may provide us some good context in the crude oil market this morning. As far as everything else going on, U.S. stocks seem to be a little bit on edge this morning, awaiting more results of the midterm elections. Facebook/Meta is set to cut 13% of its workforce today. That's 11,000 jobs. This is the tech company's first ever layoff and the largest layoff so far this year. Investors now look forward to the CPI numbers tomorrow with hopes of any indication of some easing of inflation. They're looking at CPI, the main CPI. Last month was at 8.2%. They're looking for 8.0%. The core CPI last month was 0.6%. They're expecting 0.5%. So we're looking for a little bit of a pullback in whatever it is. The word is escaping me right now. So inflation, that's what it is. Inflation. So we're looking for a pullback, need some easing of inflation. Earnings continue with a long list of earnings today, but no biggies really to kind of make note of. Just be aware that we still have a lot of earnings coming out this week. VIX this morning was up a little bit, as would probably be expected, but still relatively low at 25.60. The dollar index up back over 110 at 110.19 last I checked, and the yield on the 10-year up a little bit this morning at 4.16%. The dollar, as we remember, took a little bit of a downturn yesterday. It seems to be recovering some of that today, which may be impactful on some of our dollar-based commodities like gold, like the euro. We'll take a look at that very shortly. As always, make sure you hit the lucky like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome here on the Market Forecast. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified when we do go live. Big announcement, next Wednesday's group coaching session at 12:30. We're going to have a very special guest with us, somebody who's written a very popular book with traders. Jared Tendler, who wrote the book The Mental Game of Trading, is going to be joining us for an hour-long question and answer session. Make sure that you are set up and ready to join us for that. I think it's going to be a wonderful wonderful opportunity for everybody to get to know Jared a little bit better and to have him answer some of your questions. You guys have heard most of everything I know. Let's see what Jared has to offer, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. So again, that's a week from today at 12:30. 12:30 today, we do have regular group coaching with just little old me, and then we have Make Hogue Money after that. We had a couple losses yesterday on Make Hogue Money. I did recover those losses throughout the day yesterday. We actually ended up making a little bit of money, I think, before I shut it down. But I like to get any losses that we incurred during Make Hogue Money back, and we're doing an okay job of that. But again, today, group coaching with just me and Make Hogue Money, and then, of course, the recap. It's all about prep, trade, reflect. We are prepping right now. After the forecast, I'm going to trade, and on the recap, I'm going to reflect. Prep, trade, and reflect. Good morning, everybody. Jules is the first one in the room. The Rooster. Good morning, Scott Saw, and he conquered. Danny Ireland. Shaw Cunningham. Good morning, Theo Brody, Serenity Trader. Good morning, Stephen Carlson from Atlanta. Mike Russell. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody in crypto is doing okay. Crazy morning. Yeah, it's down 3.6%, around 18,080 right now. Scarlet Arachnid, good morning to you, fellow trader. Jay, Dimitar, Alejandro, good morning. Glitter Sandwich, Caprice. Joel MB, Kevin Laffey, good morning. Bill Phillips, Ron Merlot, you stay classy. Steve, Spencer, it's good to see you, Spencer. Charles, Scarlet Arachnid, I think, has taken the role of Unicus with the quote for the day. That's really awesome, Scarlet Arachnid. We're looking forward to seeing these continue. I really enjoy them, and I know everybody does. Come to the edge. We can't. We're afraid. Come to the edge. We can't. We'll fall. Come to the edge. And they did. And she pushed them, and they flew. Guillermo Polinaire. Nice. Yeah, if you're afraid, you're not going to take that step. You never know. You may fly. It's a good quote, Scarlet Arachnid. D.A. More Mango Ice. Good morning. Denise. Good morning. Sarah Hall. Good morning. Prayers and love to you as well. Rob T. Farhan. Good morning. Haggle Matters. Good morning. NASDAQ Trading Research. Good morning. He's a wise saying in lieu of Unicus vacation. Yeah. Excellent trading research. We got everybody jumping in with the wise sayings. Don't be so hasty that you jump into the water with your clothes on. I've made that mistake with my wallet and my phone before. Don't be so hasty. There you go. Terrence, good morning. Nisa, Rusty Golfer, my spirit animal. JTS Wave. Alejandro, good morning. Inflation increase is what he's looking for. Vince, good morning. Terrence King, just listening to that a few minutes ago. It's a beautiful morning. Thank you again, Scarlet Arachnid and Trading Research for your wisdoms. Caesar, Jason Lewis, Dowitzer, Bill, Haggle Matter. I like they're both good quotes, right? And Marcelo, good morning, everyone. So we're going to jump into the charts here. Good morning, Juan Palomino, and see what we see. Remember, we're always looking for feedback and constructive criticism with everything we do here at Top Step. If there's something we're missing, something I can do better, we can do better with the forecast, recap, anything, let me know. Jay Hoagland, JHOAGLAND, at topstep.com. I look forward to hearing and seeing any feedback you have. If you think it's great, tell everybody. If there's something missing, tell me. So let's jump into the charts here. We're going to start with the E-mini S&Ps, and then we'll get into the crude oil as crude oil begins to open its regular session. Let's take a look. All right, so there's a lot of uncertainties, of course. We're all well aware of that. The elections, CPI, as well as everything else that's going on in the world. Structurally, technically, we're starting to form a pennant formation, triangle formation. We've got, not a whole bunch of points of contact. We got maybe 3 points of contact here, maybe 3 points of contact here. And we've got weekly kickoff high capping off the overnight session. Real-time political influences and indecision is going to be a part of our trading day today. We may just be waiting for CPI tomorrow. So far, we've got an inside extended trading hour range and inside regular trading hour range after adding a small 3,800 contracts in open interest yesterday. Pretty wild day yesterday, a lot of volatility and movement for not really going that very far. So here's what we're looking at. Settlement is 38.35 quarter. There it is. We looked above weekly kickoff high. We took out a naked point of control near that level. We could not find any new buyers up there, so the buyers that had brought us up there said, that's it, we're out, and brought us back into the range from yesterday, or from the previous day, from Monday. We almost really kind of finished some repair in the double distribution from Monday before finding buyers and then returning back and then finishing the day relatively centrally located within the range of yesterday. If we're holding any overnight inventory, it's to the short side, but we're still largely inside range and inside value. We're just now extending the range below the previous overnight low against value low from yesterday. My suggestion whenever we open in range and in value is to try and stay patient to look for better trade locations as the day goes on. It seems as though the market is continuing to exhibit weakness into the open. We're going to have to, of course, see how that plays out. One of my favorite kind of opportunities is when the market opens and looks below the overnight low and can't continue, that can offer a pretty decent opportunity in the opposite direction. But again, there's so much information coming at us this week today with the elections and everything that's going on. It's going to be, I think, a little tough to find early opportunities that you're going to be able to lean on aside from the overnight low and the value low from yesterday. So try and stay a little bit patient. Our overnight high, check it out, value high and weekly kickoff high. This is a high target area if we get the opportunity to see an execution there. Our overnight low, well, we just extended it a little bit, but it's basically the value area low from yesterday on an inside extended trading hour and regular trading hour range. Patience. I say that a lot. Sometimes it works. Take a look at gold, crude oil now. I'm sorry, I meant to say crude oil. We're about a minute or two in before the open here now. It seems as though the traders' upside confidence has fallen a little bit. We lost 6,800 in open interest yesterday on this push to the downside. This isn't new shorts. This is old longs bailing out of those positions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of contact on this trend line now. This, as our friend Matt Hoyt says, is frequency. When there's a lot of frequency, it lends a lot more power to the trend line. So we're looking at this bottom of this trend line as a potential area for an execution if we do get the opportunity today. The API yesterday added 5.6 million barrels, so it just makes sense that the market is presenting a little bit lower today, right? More supply, price should be going lower. They were expecting 1.1 million barrel. The EIA is expecting a 1.36 million barrel boost. We have to wait, of course, to find out what happens with that. Now, here's a little nuance and a little context that might give us opportunity earlier in the session today is the fact that we did have a late spike to the downside yesterday where the market did not have the opportunity to accept prices at lower pricing. 88.91. So we did close in the late spike. That late spike is telling us that the market was continuing to try and push lower and did not have time in regular trading hours to accept that. When that happens, when we open flat out below the base, the bottom of the late spike, that is the strongest indication of acceptance of lower pricing. We're also opening with a gap. So if we can't close that gap, it's telling us that acceptance of lower pricing is a higher probability. We should be looking for opportunities to look for shorts. Okay. That said, there are, I believe, two bases to this late spike. Take a look at this on the TPO chart. Okay, so here's our late spike, okay? 88.91 was settlement, which is right about here. So there's our late spike. The base of this late spike is truly 89.21, right up here. Okay, the market has just opened. We've got our first minute. There's a second base to this late spike, which is all the way up here, which takes us up to 90.13. The market started to leave the area of balance, found an area of balance, and then continued the area, the directional activity to the downside. We've opened with a gap. Have we opened with a opportunity for the opening range trade? It appears as though we have the opening range trade breaking out to the downside, which would have us short of, let's say, 88.04. The high is 88.42. So we're looking at a rather substantial opening range, which just increases the risk of the opening range trade. It's not up to me to tell anybody what to do, just putting the context out there that not only have we opened with a gap below a late spike, the market is also telling us that initially sellers seem to be in control early in this session. So we've got the late spike opening below the late spike, opening with a gap, opening range the high of the session. All of those nuances are saying that there's a good probability that price is going to continue lower in search of buyers. The auction to the downside is acting as though it is healthy. We may come back and check and see what happens at the end of the forecast here to see how that trade might be working out. Now on to the NASDAQ. Okay, well, we all know that uncertainties continue to abound. This is a little bit of a different situation than the S&Ps. We do have, kind of a lopsided triangle to the downside in the NASDAQ. Of course, the NASDAQ has been presenting weaker, and we lost 6,400 in open interest on yesterday's gyration move. Again, we still have inside day and extended trading hours, inside regular trading hours, which is going to, I think, offer us opportunities to be a little bit more patient and look for better trade locations as the day goes on. Here's the 30-minute chart. So overnight high, value high. Overnight low, which we just pushed down to, value low. We're in range, we're in value. No rush to be in anything, to be in any big hurry to get into a great situation today. Even yesterday in the S&Ps and the NASDAQ, look at the NASDAQ opened with a gap. I believe it closed the gap. And then the best trade location came 2.5, 3 hours later when we looked up here. We tested to this point of control, and then we broke. And we wouldn't quite get to this naked point of control, but the best trade location yesterday did come as the day went on, even though we opened out of range. Take a look at gold. What's going on with gold here? So there's signs of a healthy upside auction here, okay? We have another 11,000 additional contracts on this push to the upside yesterday. That's new buyers. That's new business. That's money being put in the market on the long side. Volume was all right, not tremendous, but we are getting relatively close to an important inflection level, which is the weekly kickoff high, which may provide a degree of resistance, if not for a short period of time, for a longer period of time. So the signs of the auction are good. Volume was higher yesterday. Open interest increased. The long-term down, say that 15 times fast. The long time frame downside structure is at risk of being broken. I believe that risk of being broken will be true once we accept above that weekly kickoff high level, which is 1725. So I think that there is certainly some potential for change in longer time frame market state in the wind. It's not going to be easy. Here's the 30. So yesterday, with very small range, but some decent open interest accumulated in this. We had a short overnight inventory that broke back towards the settlement, and all of a sudden the market just kind of rushed to the upside. Well, a lot of that had to do with the dollar. The dollar exhibited some weakness we haven't seen for a while yesterday, but the market is still holding and in this area of value. Inside value overnight high, overnight low, value high, value low, suggesting patience. No real overnight inventory to work with here. So I'm going to really try and start to focus on our overnight high and low, or value high and low, and of course weekly kickoff high for potential entries or opportunities. In the middle of value from yesterday, I'm not that interested. So we get one good day if we were long, and then we got to be patient again. We had another good day for longs up here as well, and we got to be patient. There's still visuals from way long ago above in the form of naked points of control. And of course, we know we've got a couple much lower. But stay patient here. Alrighty, let's take a look at the 10-year. Upside auction seems to be weakening, if you could call that an upside auction. We lost about, well, actually no, this I'm looking at something else here. Yields have steadied a little bit here. We added 70,000 in open interest yesterday alone. Volume was, I would say, somewhat inert. I don't think the volume was all that important for a continuation to the upside yesterday. So with yield steady, I think this market is, of course, going to be waiting for new information. Here's our push to the upside. Settlement was up here, 110 and 9/30 seconds. Look at our overnight low, value low. Our overnight high, ways away. Overnight inventory, not really. I think it's been just kind of worn out here. So as long as we're in range and in value, I'm going to try and stay patient. I like the idea that value low and our overnight low are so close. And then, of course, continuation to the upside. We're going to have to see rates fall a little bit, and I don't necessarily see that happening. Watch. Markets love to make a liar out of me. And this, I don't trade this market, but it is a fascinating market, and it gave us a big sell signal yesterday. Okay, when we look at how we opened on Monday, okay, we added 6,200 in open interest. Now, were those longs or were those shorts? When you take a look at the 30-minute chart, we may get an idea of that. But we opened with a gap, and we've left a gap. So we've set up an island top here. The market did come up to it. It is moving away from it, and it seems to be intent on continuing this move. So we had a bunch of longs bail yesterday where we lost 6,800. So Monday we added 6,200. Yesterday we lost 6,800. It's almost like if those were longs, they all got out. So here's Monday. Kind of difficult to tell where the open interest came in. Was it on the upside? Was it on the downside? Was it both sides? But here's the gap from Friday to Monday. Here's the gap from Monday to Tuesday. An island top can be a very powerful reversal signal. Did the market really move up to it that much? That's my question. But for now, it certainly seems to be affecting price because we had a loss of 6,800, maybe some trapped longs from up here. We're seeing continuation to the downside. We have no gap fill. We do have weekly kickoff low just below here at 570, which is going to be, another interesting area for an execution. We've got naked points of control down here. We've got all kinds of visuals on really both sides of this market. It's going to be fascinating to see if this market does continue its move to the downside. Right now, overnight inventory is short, but we have gap. We have a gap, and we're working gap rules. In other words, if we can't close the gap relatively early today, we're looking to sell strength to see this market continue its move to the downside. Joe, yes, we did add the sessions to the Make Hogue Money today at 2 o'clock. We'll be doing Make Hogue Money for the afternoon. Yesterday morning we did it. So it's, what is it? Mondays. Let me get my calendar out here. So it's Mondays in the afternoon, 2 to 3, and Wednesdays, Monday and Wednesday in the afternoon. Tuesday and Thursday are the morning sessions for Make Hogue Money. So as long as I'm here, we are going to be doing them, and I look forward to seeing you there and for your participation. And thank you very much, Joe. Yeah, go ahead and hit the like button. Let's see if what we've got going on here in crude oil. I wanted to check and see if we have the opening range remaining the high of the session, which we do. It is back to the opening range now, but having a little bit of difficulty closing that gap. And remember, we do have the late spike. So the bases of those late spikes can be interesting areas for execution, just as much as the opening range trade here. So keep an eye on it, even if you're not going to be trading it. Watch and see if the late spike in crude oil remains resistant for prices at higher. We're looking for the market to be accepted at lower pricing. So prep, trade, reflect. We're prepping, we're trading. We'll see you for group coaching. We'll see you for Make Hogue Money, and then we'll reflect at the end of the day. Recap 3:15 on days when we do Make Hogue Money in the afternoon. Gives me a little bit of time to get ready, and I will look forward to seeing you all there. I'm going to take my deep breath now. Remind myself to stay humble, grateful, and creative and patient in my trading today. Okay, I'm going to get the links for the group coaching. Where is that? Here's the link for group coaching. This is the link for every group coaching through the end of the year. And then Make Hogue Money. I'm going to get you the real deal here. You can see Make Hogue Money on our Zoom channel, or on our YouTube channel, or you can join us in Zoom and be a part of the decision-making process. And here it is. I got it finally. And here's for Make Hogue Money. Now, those links are the same links. The evening. Let me make sure this is the evening one. Yeah, this is the evening one. Make Hogue Money has two different links, one for the morning and one for the evening sessions. That's the evening session. That's the one from today. But the link to join group coaching is the same for every group coaching through the end of the year. And again, remember, next Wednesday, Jared Tendler, the author of The Mental Game of Trading, is going to be with us to answer your questions. Very excited about it. All right, so get out there and profit today. Trade well. I'll see you at 12:30 for group coaching, 2 o'clock for Make Hogue Money, and 3:15 for the recap. Looking forward to seeing your success, and hopefully you have a great trading day today. So get out there, profit, manage risk. We're prepped. We're going to trade. We're going to review. Have a great trading day.